Shalom Israel, and I'm coming at you again talking about the subject of I'm dealing with the one of the northern tribes, especially. Basically, all can be in on this real quick teaching, but I'm mainly focusing on Isachaar because Isachaar is so close to us. They're especially dealing with the border situation and the so-called illegal aliens that the so-called white man seems to tag on our brothers Isachaar. And little does he realize that Isachaar, which are the Mexican Indians, owned their territory was California, Texas, Arizona, Colorado, Nevada. That's why those states have Spanish names. That is why those states have Spanish names, because they were once your property, Isachaar, the so-called Mexican man who is the tribe of Isachaar. And so you've been brainwashed and conditioned so bad that the so-called white man has you thinking that you're the illegal. He really has installed in you that you're illegal. And not to mention the Spaniards, who are also Edomites. You were forced to speak their language, forced to bow down to their Caucasian image of Jesus Christ, which that's not even his name. And you pronounce it in Spanish, Jesus Christos. You were forced to put on that culture through slavery, rape, robbery, and murder. And even the boy in this video is dressed like a Spaniard. This type of clothing is Spanish clothing. And even their dances come from Spain. And you try to adapt a country that hates your guts. The so-called white man hates you. And you got to get that through your thick heads that you're not closer to white because your hair blows in the wind too. You believe that your hair is stringy like them, that you're closer to the white man, and that you're going to get more privileges, and you're going to move up beside him in his corporate empire. You've been fooled. You've been hoodwinked. You've been duped. Everything about the way you live your life is a lie, including the Negroes, especially the ones that ain't in this truth. We woken up to the fact that who we are, and the law, statutes, and commandments of the scriptures. But Issachar's got to wake up, man. You northern tribes got to wake up. And I know ultimately that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to wake up and call, and he knows those who are his. He knows. So, ultimately the Most High is going to get his elect. But I'm showing this footage to wake the so-called Mexican people up, because you can't tell Mexican people that the white man isn't Jesus Christo, or Mary Magdalene is not the mother of God, mother of the Son of the living God. You can't get it out of their heads. And it's even got to the point where now they've got the Mary, the saint of Morte, the saint of death, where the drug lords and the cartels are praying to these gods to murder one another and help the dope trade. Now, what type of madness is that? That Mary Magdalene is going to help you with the drug trade, when Mary Magdalene gave birth to Yahweh Shai, but she is not a god or a goddess. See, you get that shit from the Catholic Church, that mother of God worship, which comes from Nimrod and Semiramis, the ancient Babylonian Empire. That's where that comes from. The confession booths, the Immaculate Conception, all that comes from Nimrod and Semiramis, your Christmas. And you got to wake up to the fact that your Hebrew Israelites, tribe of Issachar, and any Puerto Rican, any other Native American descent, has to come out of that mindset, or you're going to die. So I'm going to show you this footage of the racial tweets that came in after this young brother sung this national anthem, which This and that part of the land that he's standing on was his, period. And Gad had the rest. So let's play this footage, man.
It wasn't planned that Sebastian de la Cruz would sing the anthem at last night's Game 3, but he was brought in when Darius Rucker couldn't get to the game in time. Sebastian first captured hearts on America's Got Talent. The 11-year-old San Antonio native also impressed the NBA.
When we went to the AT&T Center, he called and he said, "Oh, well, you're doing the national anthem." And my dad told me, I was like, yes.
And he planned to use his talent to wish the Spurs luck.
For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare. It was amazing, and if you look back on the video at the end, I went like that. That was just, and I don't know, it was just something I felt, and part of it was giving the Spurs, luck.
Although the Spurs did win, people posting racially charged tweets about Sebastian tried to ruin the night. One guy tweeted this about Sebastian: 9 out of 10 chance that kid singing the national anthem is illegal.
Now I'm going to stop right there. Now, this man has got the nerve to say this, and this bastard comes from Europe and forced his way here. Killed, robbed, and murdered, and broke treaties to get the land. And now he's judging a native of the land. It just goes to show you, man, the so-called white man's a fucking devil, man. And fuck him, fuck his branches, and to hell with his damn piece of shit, faggot-ass country. The hell with you goddamn devils, man. Let me go ahead and start this on up.
Another guy said, "This kid is Mexican. Why is he singing the national anthem?" And they got worse.
I knew there was going to be a lot of...
But this talented young singer didn't pay any attention to the social media storm.
I knew that one day when I sing that people were going to judge me. And that's why over the time that I've grown, I've learned that you don't really care what people say about you. It's what you think about yourself.
And I'm going to stop right there. See, that's the coonery right there of our people. You just got to forgive them. You just got to, all of them aren't like that, but the majority of us are in prison. The majority of us have dope cases. The majority of us don't have any work in our neighborhoods due to this goddamn devil outsourcing the jobs, purposely trying to ruin our nation. So y'all better learn to hate, man. Y'all better start learning to hate, and you better pick a damn side, or you're going to be collateral damage in this damn war. Now, if you're black, Hispanic, or Native American, you will get into the kingdom eventually. The Most High is only dealing with the elect. So if you want to die to get in, be my damn guest. Go ahead and knock yourself out.
Found tons of people on Facebook who have great things to say about Sebastian. Each of them praising the young singer, and the comments just go on and on and on.
Thank y'all. Thank you very much.
So just as the Spurs wipe out the Heat with class, Sebastian has this final gesture for those mean tweets.
I don't really care about what y'all say, and I'm doing this right now. It's off my shoulders. For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And then I'm going to stop right there, too, to say this. If he was in his right mind to know the atrocities that this damn devil has done to our people and the Mexican Indian people, he shouldn't want to say nothing. Even the guy before him, Darius Rucker, shouldn't sing a damn thing. None of y'all, Alicia Keys, y'all shouldn't sing a damn thing for this country. Like it's been fucking good to you. And only time it's good to you if you sell your damn soul to them and bow down to the Baphomet, and bow down to his fucking leper ass image of Jesus Christ. That's when you make it, when you sell your soul to this damn devil. I'm going to continue this, Akim.
Silvio Rincon, Fox, San Antonio.
And that's the end of that. And I'm just going to read some scriptures to wake Issachar up, to show them that he is indeed the Israelite and how you got to the Americas. Let's go to it real quick. This is 2nd Esdras out of the Apocrypha. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 13, starting at verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Osiah the king, who Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters. And so came they unto another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land, talking about Israel. That's why you were put out in captivity in the first place, by not obeying the law, statutes, and commandments. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood, till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of the year and a half. And the same region is called Asareth. Now before you got there, it was called Asareth, which means new land. Even going back into the days of Solomon, Solomon knew about Asareth. As a matter of fact, Solomon had Hamites, which are modern day so-called Africans. He had Africans going over to Asareth, this land that is now called the United States, to go get wood and materials for building things in Israel. And so Solomon knew about this land, and it was called Asareth, the new land. So that's how you got the so-called Hispanics and Native Americans got over here into the Americas, by getting out of captivity of King Osiah and coming together in agreement to go to a land that you've never known, a new land, to obey the law, statutes, and commandments. That's how you repopulated it. You went through the Euphrates River and went all the way down the east coast of Africa, across the southern tip of Africa, across the Atlantic Ocean to the southern tip of South America. And then when you got there, you were populated all the way from South America all the way up to Canada. That's how you got to Americas. You had to come from somewhere. And before I run out of time, also I'll have to touch on this on another subject, but also, and dealing with the Negroes and Hispanics, man, we war against one another a lot, and we're confused through slavery and captivity, but we don't realize, that the Vatos and the Essays and Bloods and Crips and all these black and Hispanic gangs are fighting and killing one another because, number one, we don't know who we are, and number two, it's a curse the Most High put on us. And it reads in Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 54, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. So that's why we have broken homes. That's why we kill one another. That is a curse from the Most High. I was watching a video just before I started this one, and it was about the Great Street Watch Crips and the East Coast Crips now been warring since '08. And they was talking about, ain't no peace, ain't gonna never be no peace with them niggas, yada yada. Man, that's a curse. And you got gangs like the Hillside Trace and the Bloods beefing. I mean, you got even here in the Midwest, man. When I was living in Indianapolis, man, you had Latin Kings and gangster disciples, warring against one another, man. And I if it wasn't for me, stepping in for this one Latin King, me and this brother was cool, man. The brothers from the neighborhood, man, they was gonna kill him. And I had to step in and intervene, man. I kept that, I kept that dude from getting killed. So, man, that's a curse, man. That's a curse. But with that being said, Yasha Allah, I'm gonna get up out of here. Have a good night. Praise be to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Amen.
I like to be in America. Okay, by me in America. Everything free in America.
For a small fee in America.